Hey guys, it's Joe Garcia. We're here with the Closers Podcast. I'm here with my best friend, Robert Neely. He is a killer. He is a savant. He's out in Detroit. Rob, tell us who you are, what you're doing right now in your business, and what life looked like before real estate.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Joe. Just want to take a moment and give you your flowers, man. Being around you has opened my perspective to positive thinking furthermore than I already had before I met you. So that's number one. I wanted to give you your flowers. I love you, bro, and I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you too, man.
Absolutely, man. So my name's Rob Neely, for anybody that doesn't know. I'm in real estate now. I consider myself an entrepreneur though, more than anything. And that's because I don't like to just wear one hat and say, hey, I'm a realtor. I don't like to put myself in any box in life. I like to consider myself, I'm a businessman. Rather that be just real estate now. Like, I have my hands in different various things, real estate being my prime vehicle, but life before I was a realtor was a lot different. I come from a blue collar family, kind of from nothing. I grew up in a 900 square foot house, five people in the house. Times we didn't have money, times we didn't have food, times we didn't have lights, times we didn't have a lot of things. And it sucked because I grew up around people with a lot of money. And it opened my perspective to not what I had, but what I didn't have. So I would have this hunger inside that says, one day I'm gonna have that shit. One day I'm gonna have that nice car. One day I'm gonna have that mindset. One day I'm gonna look like that guy. And now, fast forward, I was in construction from the ages of 14 to 23. On my 23rd birthday, I walked in, quit my job, walked out, signed up for my real estate course, signed up for Uber. I drove Uber for 6 months while I did real estate until the real estate outweighed the Uber. I worked about 17, 18 hours a day every single day for 6 months. And then one day I was like, okay, I'm finally making enough to get by where I can quit doing Uber and I can focus on real estate. And God willing, from there, it just grew.
And wow, that's amazing. Well, we talked a little bit about your childhood right there, and you said the hunger of, hey, I want this, I want that, I want to have that mindset, I want to be like this guy. But man, when I talk to you and we sit down, we work together, you have this killer instinct. Does that come from like, is it a direct correlation to your childhood? Like, and were you always like this?
Um, I wasn't always like this. I would say when I was younger, when I was a kid, I was a little bit more passive as a kid, like before teens. A little bit more passive, a little bit more amiable, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more whatever. And then eventually it got to the point where you get punched in the mouth enough times, it's like I got to start punching back. And then you at some point your brain realizes that you know what, if there's two kinds of people in this world. You can either be getting your ass kicked or kicking some ass. So I just try to wake up every day and really put my attention on making the most of every day. And like you said, like you see it and you feel it, and I think that a lot of my killer just comes from the pain within inside. Yeah, I don't want to go back. I've been there. I know the struggle. I don't want to feel that again. I don't want my kid to feel that. I don't want my wife to feel that. Hell, I don't even want my parents to ever feel that again. So that's where it comes from.
You see, that's what makes Rob Neely Rob Neely. Just right there, the fire in your eyes, the passion, how you talk. And with that being said, your killer instinct, you win. That's what you do. That should be your middle name. If you don't have that already, we should go down and we should change that. You just win. But I feel like, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you hate losing more than you love winning. What does losing do to you? I've seen it in my own eyes. Why does it hit so hard when you lose?
It's a really, really good question, Joe. Um, and you're right. I mean, you get to see it firsthand, unlike anybody else. See, it's winning is cool. Winning to me feels good for 5 minutes. Losing to me feels good for 5 hours. I actually really like to lose. Although in the moment I am upset, I don't know where the pain comes from. I guess when I guess I learned from one of my early mentors that a lot of your pain you'll find derives from your childhood. It derives from stuff that's happened at least in your past. So I guess when I lose, I tie that pain to oh shit, now my family's gonna lose this. Like you've seen it
Mhm.
firsthand. I lose business, and I'm like, you took money out of my family's mouth, motherfucker. You didn't just beat me. I remember the other day I lost to somebody that we know, and I pulled up to the listing appointment. And he's walking out and he's smiling, laughing. And I was like, enjoy it. And he's like, what do you mean? And I looked at him, I said, enjoy it. I said, you're gonna go home tonight and you're gonna smile because you beat me. I'm gonna go home tonight and I'm not gonna sleep. So what I want you to is enjoy this moment because it's the last time that's ever going to happen for you. And that's it. And it's just, and it's not cocky. It's just, I really, really hate losing because every loss, although it's a lesson, it gets me one step away from where I'm ultimately trying to be, which is financial freedom for my family and my friends, my brothers, my family. I want to pioneer the way for everybody I know so I can just change as many lives as possible. That's the goal.
So I want to stick on this. You lost a listing. You pulled up to the listing appointment and you told this guy straight to his face, "Hey, like enjoy this because this is never gonna happen again." That am I wrong? Did I hear that wrong, or is that
That's
exactly what happened?
Well, that's exactly right because I think the people that know me at the closest level, they know that I obsess over things and like I obsess over the fine details. So like, although you might have beat me, I thought about the five reasons why you beat me. Because really, we didn't even go head to head. You beat me before I had a chance. Fair enough. What could I have done differently so you didn't get a chance? So that's all. And it's like, to me, it's like sport at this point in business. It's like at first it was like I gotta hunt, I gotta find dinner for tonight. Now it's more so how can I move these chess pieces around to win games, to win life.
See, so you're going from just like, oh, you're going from a rainmaker to like a business owner. You're thinking, okay, even when I lose, how can I get better? Breaking it down, compartmentalizing your loss.
Hmm.
But with your loss, you bounce back. When you lose, you said it feels like you punched in your mouth. You got punched in your mouth. How do you bounce back mentally?
Um, I would say the biggest thing, it's you're a sports guy. You know this analogy. With cornerbacks, you got to have short-term memory. You
Yes.
just got to pass interference. You got to forget it. There's another. This is still third down. We got to get our ass back on the field. So I think that's number one is like mentally, you have to tell yourself, okay, cool. I lost, but I actually won because I learned. So what did I learn? That's number one. It's like how can I turn? And actually, I learned one of those. I learned that one of the first things I ever learned from you and I already knew this, but you really helped me understand it, is there's always a silver lining. You talk about it the most. If something shitty happens to you, what's the positive of it? So when I lose, I'm like, okay, I lost. That sucked. Now, how can I bounce back and say, okay, take that loss and turn it into a win? That's number one. Number two is you got to realize at some point, and this is for everybody, no one's coming to save you, motherfucker. Okay? Nobody. There's not a lifeboat on the way. You can either, as a man, strong, that's willed, grab it yourself and pull yourself out of the mud, or you're never going to get out of it. No one is coming to save you. So in your head, you got to practice that all the time. It's like, I lost. It sucked. I feel like shit. I didn't accomplish my goals. But guess what? Nobody's coming to save me in this ocean. I got to swim my ass back to shore. I better get on it. So that's how I think about things like that.
I gotcha. I mean, that was amazing right there. Now, I want to shift gears a little bit. We talked about mentality, losing, how you have that fire desire in your stomach. Um, but you talked about being a construction worker until you're 23. You walked in the office, you said, "Hey boss, I quit. Get the fuck out of my life." That's basically what you told him.
Hmm.
Now you're in sales. How did this thing change the trajectory of your life?
I'm getting chills just thinking. I swear to God, I'm getting chills just thinking about it because it's the single greatest thing I ever did
What do you
for
mean by that?
myself and what I mean is like it was I used to be the kind of person I'd show up a little bit early to work. I'd kind of stroke the clock. I'd smoke a cigarette. I'd fuck off. I'd get home at 5 o'clock, tired, wore out. I'd lay down. My wife would want me to help her on. I was wore out, right? Now I wake up every day and it's the sales made me become the person that has to want to get 1% better every day. That used to be a mantra. I look at like, what does that even mean? Now I really think, okay, how can I just move the needle a little bit today? Rather it be health, rather it be learn about wealth, rather it be being a better father, rather it be being a better brother, rather it be sales made me realize that the people that are winning at the highest level, they're not just doing it because they read one really good sales book. They have worked on themselves harder than they'll ever work on the business. And that's why sales changed my life. I love it. It's the greatest thing I ever did.
Amazing, amazing. And you talked about 1% better every day. But dude, you're on your way to 100 deals this year. What do you mean getting 1% better every day? Like you are the pinnacle of agents. So what do you mean? By the way, anybody that doesn't look at real estate or doesn't know anything about real estate, average agent sells around 3 to 4 houses per year. My guy, Rob Neely, he's gonna sell 100 houses this year. So when you say get 1% better, what do you mean?
So it's like you gotta this is a standard or core value on my team. You have to be working harder on yourself than anything else in the world. And what I mean by that is like if you're not taking time to really work on yourself, like how do I feel today? What am I consuming? Who am I around? What am I eating? What am I thinking like? How am I responding? How am I acting? Who am I as a son? Who am I as a father? Who am I as a brother? Whatever, right? Yourself, like true self-development, then you can't get 1% better. So like I'll show you this is my trajectory. Year one, 13 deals closed. Year two, 26 deals closed. So about 100% increase. So 1% better, right? Every day. Year three, 49 deal closed. Just about double. 1% better every day. Year four this year, 100 deal closed. So it's like um I'm truly trying to level up every day because if you do that correctly, you can 2x yourself. You can you don't gotta try to solve this puzzle all at once. It's like put one piece together and at the end it's a beautiful piece of art. But self-development's the biggest thing.
You talk a lot about, it's you always tell this to me and Anthony. This business is kind of like building a house. You put one brick. You could tell it better than me. You were a freaking
Yeah.
construction guy. So tell us about that
Yeah.
one brick analogy, 1% better. That's exactly, it correlates
Yes.
to your analogy.
So the way I look at life is like this. And I tell you guys this all the time. When I say building this thing for my family, for my future, I just imagine the most beautiful house you can ever think of in your head. It's just luxurious. It's out of this world and nice. Every day, every decision you make, you're either adding a brick to that beautiful life, beautiful house, beautiful life that you're building. It's gonna take a million bricks to build that beautiful house, right? It's ginormous, it's gorgeous. But every time you make a decision or you make a positive or negative income or outcome or whatever, you're either adding a brick to that and it's getting the house is getting built, or you're peeling a brick off. So you take a rep off on a phone call, you just go over to the house and peel a brick off. But those days you show up, you have 30 conversations, they all go really well. You work on your leadership, you solve for something personal, you're a good husband, you're a good man, you're a good son. You just added 50 bricks to that mansion. One day, that dream life, that mansion, that dream world is going to be built brick by brick by brick. And before you know it, the people that they wake up one day and they're 40 and they're like, hey, it must be nice, must be nice, must be nice. You hear those people? It was nice. It was a fucking grind every day for years building this. Yeah, it must be nice. It was real nice. You just chose not to add to your foundation when I did, and that's okay.
So the people that are 40 that are saying, "Oh, it must be nice," they were sleeping in while guys like you and I were here awake at 5 in the morning, just 1% better, 1%. Let's keep adding on bricks, adding on bricks. Okay. So we talked about 100 deals. That's what you're gonna do this year. It's set in stone. It's written in the stars. What does that look like, income wise for you this year?
So year to date, I'm probably at about revenue wise, like gross, I'm probably at it's the beginning of July, I'm probably a little over 300,000. So I'll probably round the year out at about 650-ish, somewhere in there, 700.
650-ish. Okay. Well, you went from 50 deals. You're at 300,000 right now, and you're going to 650. Last year it was 50 deals. To get, you just 2x'd your business. Well, that's exactly your trajectory. It was 13, 25, 50, and then 100. 2x every year. You're playing the doubles game. Doubles game. But to go from
Trying to.
50 to 100, there's a lot of sacrifice. What's the biggest sacrifice you feel that you had to give up or sacrifice to play at that level?
It's a great question. It's a great question because I think from 50 to 100, I think there's levels. I think you have around 10 deals, that's a level, and you have to change something to get to 25. And I think at 25, that's another level, and then at 50. So this has been the hardest, and every level is a little bit harder, but you can learn from your past level. So I think the biggest thing that I had to change from 50 to 100, I think any Joe Schmo who drinks on a Friday night and gets hammered on Saturday and wakes up on Monday can do 50 deals a year if they really put their mind to it. But I think the person that does 100 deals a year is a one percenter. And I think the biggest thing I had to change was my identity. Like, I don't, when I'm around my family and they speak negative, I call them out and I don't even waste my energy with them. And when I'm around people that are like, why aren't you drinking today? Why aren't you? Because I have goals and I have standards and I can't do that today. I'm sorry. So it was I truly I had to shed like a snake. I had to shed my old skin. That's not who I am anymore, unfortunately. And it was fun for a while. But if I do this right now, then 10 years down the road, I won't have to worry about that anymore. And the greatest part about this, Joe, and this is a lesson for everybody, when you become that new person, when you shed that skin, you don't have to worry about distancing yourself from those people or those problems. Trust me, God willing, they will separate from you. Eventually, you'll see it. You've seen it with your friends probably. It's like you become this new person and they say things to you, and you're like, I don't like what he just said. But guess what? It's okay because now they look at you different, and that's fine. And that's totally fine because now we have this separation. And I can't go from 25 to 50 or 50 to 100 without the separation because it's a different person,
So basically, changing your identity.
unfortunately. And a lot of sacrifices with relationships and just the old me habits.
I love when people say, in hindsight, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. Of course, you say that, right? But in hindsight, when you go back and you look from your trajectory of, your 4-year career right now, what do you look back and say, I'm glad I did it exactly that way. I wouldn't have changed not one thing.
What is something that I can say? Oh, I would say I'm glad I didn't hire a coach first and I learned that you need guidance. And I'm glad that I tried all the sexy shit that make life the path of least resistance. I tried them all, Joey. I paid for the online leads. I didn't have a coach. I tried the social media. I tried to wait for my phone to ring. Ring, mofo, ring, and it just never goes off. I tried them. They don't work. With the biggest thing that I accepted is like, I'm so happy that I did that because now every time I want to learn something new, like right now I'm on a weight loss journey, I've lost like 30 pounds. I hired a coach right away, like right away, because he knows more about it than I do. So I can pay this small fee and get all of his knowledge instead of trying to spend the next 10 years learning it myself. Why would I do that? It's called the ignorance tax. One of our coaches, Brandon, talks about it.
I love that the ignorance tax, like I think it's I think life is pay to play, to be honest. If you don't know something, somebody out there in this world is charging a small fee so you can acquire all their knowledge. And right away,
Hmm.
you know zilch about a topic, then you can go from 0 to 50, 50 to 100. 150% knowledge you just gained because you just paid X dollars. And the fee that you pay is so small compared to the knowledge you will learn that can 30 pounds lost in your weight loss journey. Like, how does that feel? Like, you just lost 30 pounds in what? It was like 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, about 2 months basically, a little under 2 months, and
And
feels good. It's incredible. I feel healthy. I feel better. You know.
And just because you pay the small ignorance tax, now you are in a way better to do like a better, thing for your life, for physicality, because your mindset is dialed, spirituality, you're dialed. your leadership is dialed, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Um, but now there's one thing that you're going to get better at because you're paying that small ignorance tax. We talked about leadership just now. I just hovered over it. I think that that's probably one of your best qualities. You're an outstanding leader. You've got somebody that's fully bought into your vision, your assistant. How did you create that level of buy-in? And what does leadership mean to you?
Leadership to me, very complex question, but I'll try to give you because I think as someone that is on the front end of their leadership career, I think leadership to me has been the biggest challenge of my life because you can take a day off as a producer. You can take a day off as a salesman. You can take a day off as a father. You can take a day, but a leader, like the leader of the family, the leader of the business, you can't take a day off. The eyes are always on you. And in order for someone to get another person to buy in, number one, they have to truly be bought in themselves. Do you believe the shit you're saying? You do? Where's it written? Do you actually believe it? If I called you at Saturday night at 11 p.m., would you be able to tell me your goal? Are you bought in? Okay, you are cool. The next step in leadership is when you bring somebody on, do they understand your vision, but not your vision? See, it's not about you. Do they understand your vision for them and for their future? Because the biggest thing when it comes to decide and you can attest to this as well. When it comes to deciding, am I going to be around this person? Am I going to be with this person? Am I going to walk this journey? Because it's a journey. Leadership's a journey. To me, the only factor you need to consider is when I'm around this person, or if I go with this person, or if I decide to move with this person, does my life get unequivocally better? If the answer is yes, it's going to be better because I'm with them, then it's a no-brainer. So I'm just trying to create a better life for everybody around me because that's what a true, in my opinion, leadership truly is about making everybody around you's life better. And in turn, it will make yours better.
Yeah, and ever since, we got connected, my life, has drastically gotten better. Yeah, I was living a good life before, but when I met you and I met Tony, you just the level of consistency, dedication, and constantly just showing up, your standard, just by being around you, my standards increased as well. And you're right. The leaders want their people that follow, they want them to do good as well. So I think you've displayed an incredible skill in leadership. And although you're on your front end, like you said, I'm giving you your flowers now too, motherfucker. You're an incredible leader, and you trust me, the sky's the limit for you. So now we're talked about us getting together and all that good stuff. How important is it for you to run with killers? Like to be surrounded by competitors at your level?
It's everything. It's so vital to be around people that align with what your future wants to look like. And like I told you 10, 15 minutes ago, there's times where I'm around my old friends and family that I don't really hang around anymore. And the way I talk, they just don't quite understand it. And it's okay because like the way I look at this is like it's okay. You know why it's okay to me? Because I don't want to have what you have. And that's fine. But my brothers, my dogs that I roll with every day, the guys that want to be where they want to go where I want to go and they have the vision that I have and we share unique visions for each other. It's like those guys understand the recipe. And Gary Keller, I don't know if he made the quote, but somebody made the quote. I don't know who we got it from. You're the average sum of the five people you spend the most time with. So if you're this is the way you got to look at it. Let's say the people you're around are all level ones and you want to be a level 10. Well, if there's five of you fuckers and you're all level ones, the average sum of the five level ones is one. But if you're a level one and you're around a bunch of level fives, the average sum of that group is five. You're all trying to be tens. So you all got to worry about leveling up. So being around people that are a lot of times levels above you or at the same level as you is going to increase your average sum. So you should always be trying to surround yourself with good people.
Always, always. And you talked about that quote. It's a beautiful quote. What's your favorite quote? You throw out a lot of different good things sometimes. You say a lot of good things. So what's your favorite quote of all time?
Um, that's a great question. I think my favorite quote as of recent is let me pull. I don't want to botch this. Give me 1 second because I want to say it's my favorite
Yeah.
quote and I love it. Give me 1 second. Let me look this up so I can read the exact quote. This is my favorite quote of all time. It is by Michelangelo. I created a vision of David in my head, and I simply think that was not David. That's my favorite. It just gives me chills every time I read it. If you really think about that, people back then, they didn't know he was the first person to do what he did. And people said, how the hell did you accomplish that? So when I think of shit like that, I tell you this. I mean, I just told you this when we were together in Michigan. I said, when you're doing something that nobody else has done, you're gonna seem a little crazy, but then you do it, and it's not simply what you did, it's what you carved away to get there. And I just love that quote because I think it's addition by subtraction. I think when people are looking in this world to get ahead, I think it's not about what you can do to add on to your plate, to add to your repertoire, to add to your tool belt to get there. A lot of times it's who do I need to get rid of? What do I need to stop doing? Where do I need to not be to get ahead? So that's when I hear that quote, that's what I think of. It's one of my favorites.
You talked about addition by
Addition.
subtraction. When everything is said and done, and you've accomplished everything you set out to. Like I'm talking about, you look back and you're like, you know what? I did it. I finally did it. What do you want people to say about Rob Neely?
Um, yeah, man, that's a great question. I think about this often because honest to God, the things that people will say about me will determine the kind of life I lived. And I think uh, if I got to the end of the world, if I got to the end of my life and I'm sitting in my deathbed, the thing I want people to say about me is he was a good man, and he was a good father, and he was a good brother, and he's a good friend. I think that's the most important. I think all this other shit's cool. Like seriously, I'm getting a little emotional right now because I think like the money's cool, but like, you know what I mean? Whew, sorry, bro. It's a
There
good
you go.
question.
So you want to be the best version of yourself, being a father, being a brother, a son, a friend.
Husband,
That's a
husband.
husband. A husband, that's very important. And I see, the relationship that you have with your wife. It's beautiful. I admire it. So you're well on your way. I promise you that. Because if everything stopped right now, people will say that about you. Because I will say that about you, and you're my brother. So we're tying this up now, and this is my favorite question. The reason why it's my favorite question is because I ask it to you every single day. I ask it to myself every single day. I'm gonna ask it to you right now in front of all the millions that are gonna be watching this. Back against the wall, who do you want?
Me. Every fucking time. Me. Every
Every
time.
single time. You talked about nobody in this motherfucking life is gonna come to save you. You're in the freaking ocean by yourself and you're drowning. What are you gonna do? You gotta swim back to you gotta swim back to the shore because you're gonna die. So back against the wall, Rob Neely wants himself. Now, if somebody's listening right now and they're stuck, they're scared, they're playing small, they were that construction worker back when you were at 23, 22 years old, and they're scared. What's your message to them about choosing themselves?
I think that's an incredible question. And I think that this is one of my passion projects moving forward. And I've thought about this for a long time. I would love to help those people because I was like that. And it's a scary jump. And it's a scary jump because you don't know what you don't know. Like you could fuck this whole thing up. But the way that I looked at it when I quit because I quit my job on my 23rd birthday. By the way, anyone that's listening, I quit a job where I was making $100,000 a year. I had a great pension. I had great insurance. I had time off. I was one of the top guys at the company. I could do whatever I wanted. But I think the biggest thing to think about whenever you're like, okay, if I make this jump, I could fucking lose everything. Two things are true. A, you can always go, this is the biggest thing. You can always go back to doing what you're doing. You're not taking this jump into entrepreneurship and you forget how to lay concrete. I've been doing real estate for 4 years. You give me a rake and a trowel right now, and I'll lay a pad for you right now. I know how to do that. I don't need to learn that again. It's a pretty easy skill, in my opinion. That's number one. Number two, it's not forever. It's not forever. Think about all the shit people in this world are going through. You're scared to make a jump. I mean, you could be in a war zone right now. You could be blind. Anything could be wrong with you. You're healthy, you're young. I don't care if you're 45, you're still young. If you fuck this up for a whole year, 12 whole months, 365 days, you can just go back. Now you're 46, or now you're 26, or now who gives a shit? You lost 1 year. Even if you do this wrong for 5 years, you for five, you're 51, you're 31, you're 21, whatever it is, right? It's like you can't lose if you don't quit.
Yeah, yeah. And on top of that, you can't lose when you don't, even if you don't. Wow, you can't lose if you don't quit. Yes, that's true. My favorite quote is from PBD, Patrick Bet David. He says, pain is temporary, quitting is forever, so never quit. So, and even if you do quit, even if you do lose and you go back to your job, you didn't lose 5 years of your life. You've gained 5 years of experience, 5 years of wisdom, 5 years of real world. Let me get punched in your mouth. Let's see what we can do here. That's what you gained. So yeah, I love that. I love that answer, and I hope people really understand what you're saying because somebody in the audience right now can just wow. So if I do make the jump to entrepreneurship and it doesn't work, I can just go back. Yeah, you're right. You can go back. That's it. Very simple. So last
That's
question for
it.
you, Rob. This is a good one. This is packed. This is a packed punch. What makes Rob Neely a closer?
Oh, that's a great question. I think what makes me a closer is I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna show up every day and I'm gonna keep getting better. And yet, hey, if we don't close today, guess what? I'll be there tomorrow and we're gonna close and we're gonna figure out how to do this thing. That's what makes me a closer. Consistency, consistency, consistency. That's what makes me a closer.
Consistency, consistent. You always say consistency is the magic pill. Um, so that was the interview between Rob and I. Rob, before we click off here, do you want to say anything to the crowd, to the audience? People probably love you. They're like, oh, you know what? We want to do another one with Rob, huh?
I do. I think I hope I don't care if this just sparks one mind ever. This video's out there forever, and just one person hears this and really listens to it. There's gonna be a time where you're gonna be scared to make a jump, or you're gonna be scared to do something in life. And the old cliche quote that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger couldn't be more true. Because like you said, even if you're scared, even if you fuck this up, even if it goes completely wrong, you not only can you go back, but now you learn so much from that thing that you tried to do. So just don't ever let your past define you. Always let your future motivate you. Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? And then start acting like that person today, even if it's just small.
Amazing,
So that would be
amazing.
it, brother. That's all I got to the crowd.
Amazing. So listen, Rob, thanks so much for popping out and sharing like 30 minutes with me. I know that this is not gonna just spark one person's mind. I know it's gonna spark 1,000 millions. Just wait till we get there, brother. We're gonna be at the top one day.
Love it. Love it. I love it, bro. Absolutely. Listen, I love you, bro. This is incredible. Thanks for having me. And they don't even know that you're gonna have one of the biggest podcasts in the world when it's all said and done. So congratulations, bro.
Listen, they know it now.
Congratulations to the future you. Congratulations to
Exactly.
the future you.
There
Yeah,
it is. They're
congratulations.
gonna know it now. You just said it. I just said it too. Set in stone, baby. All right, guys. I'll see you next week.